This guy David tricked his way onto the Union Army by fighting underneath a fake name. So David Joshua Jones, who is our follower Bethany's third great-grandfather, was born in the year 1847 and would grow up in the state of Illinois. Being born in the year 1847 meant that by the time the Civil War was wrapping up, he was still underage and could not serve. But this didn't stop him from trying, and so in early January of 1865, he and his cousin went to Quincy, Illinois to enlist in the Army. However, the Army recruiters there in Quincy figured that David and his cousin, who I just read here is actually 13 at the time, both looked very much so like teenagers, and so they turned them away. Instead of giving up, David and his cousin, whose name is Andrew, decided to go to Springfield, Illinois to enlist there. Now, Andrew looked all the bit 13 and he was still denied, but David decided to enlist in Andrew's brother's name, his other cousin, named George Chapman. And this time it worked, they allowed him to join the Army. Now, 17-year-old David could not read or write, and so he, as George Chapman, had his little brother come and stay with him at the camp while they were still in Springfield. So that way Andrew, who did know how to read and write, could write some letters home to David's mother on behalf of David.
Write that down, write that down!
And so David, under the name of his cousin George Chapman, was assigned to the 20th Illinois Infantry and was able to sneak his way into the Civil War just before the war ended a few months later in April. And we know all of this because 39 years later in the year 1904, David's little cousin Andrew had to swear in an affidavit that the pension that belonged to George Chapman should actually be going to his cousin David Jones, and he had to swear in the affidavit recounting all these details.